Hey-o, live from your mom's TikTok account. Ugh, I don't want to be there.
Yeah, what a terrible idea.
It's Business Pants Friday here at January 19th Street Studios featuring Ari the Data Queen,
Woohoo!
Jesse the Money Whisperer, and Lord of the BS, ESG expert Matt Moscardi. I'm off-brand Oreos. On today's weekly wrap-up, you know the drill. Come on, you're a fan of the show. Story of the week, goodliest of the week, assholeiest of the week, come on, you know. Let's just do this. Matt has somewhere to go. Let's do this. You ready?
He's got nowhere to go.
This is our weekly wrap-up show. Come on.
You've used off-brand Oreos like 5 times.
I know.
It's
probably
you
true.
need a new writer. Where's your
Wait,
writer?
what are off-brand Oreos?
Hydrox.
No, Hydrox are off-brand Oreos. Off-brand or like, Trader Joe's Oreos, whatever those are called.
Never had those.
Trader-O's.
They're called JoJo's. My wife is addicted to them. All right. Well, we gotta roll. I don't want any of you to blather on like the filibustering idiots that you've all become. So let's get to it. You ready?
Yeah, if you want to hear what we think, go listen to the Vivek show yesterday.
Let's start with. Oh, I didn't think of Vivek. I could have had Vivek as one of my stories of the week. Let's start with story of the week. Did you already buzz me in?
I already did. You already got your transition.
Okay. I guess another one for me.
That's terrible.
Story of the week. Reed Hastings stepping down from Netflix.
Yes, stepping sideways.
Yeah, stepping sideways. You're right. He is actually stepping down as co-CEO to become executive chair, which almost sounds like a promotion to me.
That is a better position. Yeah.
Yeah. And unusually, Netflix is not appointing a CEO. They're appointing a new co-CEO. A man named Greg Peters, who has a Bob Iger handsomeness to him, meaning that he looks like a very like Ken Dolly white man. He just looks very handsome. Netflix insiders describe the new co-CEO as "quote unquote" hyper rational. I don't know what that means. That sounds very Aryan.
Sounds like money to me.
And a behind-the-scenes power player leading key expansions in ads, gaming, and more. This sounds like the downfall of Netflix to me. Like here comes the guy to ruin all the art, all the fun.
Yeah, hyper efficient and rational are not words that you want running an art studio effectively.
It's not what I associate with Netflix or how Netflix affects my
But
life.
then Netflix is like losing the streaming wars to hyper rational Bob Chapek, right?
He's gone, Matt.
I know.
Bob is gone. All right.
Like that's the point.
How do I know this is one of the stories of the week? One of my dumb friends, and if you're listening, you know who you are, texted me and said, I got a lot of texts about Vivek yesterday, but I also got a text saying, "Whoa, Reed Hastings left." Like he's trying to butter me up or something. Like he's pretending like he cares about my world.
that's a little obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. If anything, that's a way for me to not want to be your friend because I don't really care.
Oh, I fall for those texts all the time.
All right. Number 2 story of the week, only because it kind of, I don't know. We all hate when I talk about Elon Musk, but I couldn't avoid this one. Elon Musk, supposedly there's a video from 2016, a Tesla autopilot video saying that the car drove itself. It was faked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well,
partially faked. I know no one is surprised. Bloomberg is reporting that Elon Musk himself directed this video. There's emails to support this. I'm going to remind people that former CEO of Nikola, also an electric vehicle car maker, Trevor Milton, was convicted of fraud for essentially making the exact same video.
Yeah, Elon Musk himself said that one of Trevor Milton's ideas was, quote, staggeringly dumb. That idea was not making the video. He didn't say that about that.
And one of the reasons why Trevor Milton...
this was so good he had to copy it.
Well, yeah, and why? Because one of the reasons why Milton was convicted of fraud, it was because it was like lying about this non-existent technology to inflate the stock price of Nikola. And I'm going to remind everyone that Elon Musk's pay package is all about the share price. It is completely pegged to share price, market cap, share price. That's how this idiot gets his billions. So, again, Matt and I, we talked about this yesterday. He should be in a lot of trouble for this, but he probably won't.
There's no way. There's no way.
How is this coming out now? This is from 2016, you said?
Well, journalists are always working, Ari. They're always looking for stuff.
Could have worked a little faster on this one.
Oh, give him a break.
I have a feeling Matt's going to say this can't be story of the week because it happened in 2016.
Oh, I like that. I like it.
Prediction!
Don't pre-use my bashing before I get to use it. Come on.
And finally, in my third story of the week, another CEO story, one of our favorites, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, is stepping down. She's done.
Saw that.
And why did I pick this? Because we've talked about her a lot, and I stupidly
Love
consider
her.
prime ministers to be CEOs, and because the anti-woke, one of whom we had on the show yesterday, Vivek Ramaswamy.
He's not anti-woke.
Whatever. I don't want to get into it.
Excellence.
Whatever. I want him back on the show. Either way, it's fine. But the anti-woke already making fun of her. They were making fun of her teeth. They were calling her lazy. Honestly, I don't understand these people. I really don't get what motivates them. If you're a woman in power, I guess they just start to crumble. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't really
It makes
understand.
them cry.
That's it. Those are my three stories. I know we're trying to go along, so anyone want to push this through and vote?
Ari
I
always
don't
says
want
I
to go
wanna vote
first.
Ari
Come on,
always
Ari.
says I want to go first.
Come on, Salt and Vinegar. Let's do this.
All right. Salt and Vinny, I got it.
So,
I'm going to go. Oh, God. This just seems like exhausting.
wait, that's another
especially
part of
the
the show.
Musk.
It's another part of the show. That's Jesse's part.
Yeah, you stole the Musk thing from Jesse's part, so.
No, I actually do think it's a story of the week.
No, I'm
because-
actually talking about Netflix on my part.
Oh, okay,
Greg.
okay.
It's all
I'm out for
exhausting.
Greg.
I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jacinda. Just,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
I'm going with Jacinda too.
Oh, a double Jacinda.
Which
Matt.
means my vote doesn't count.
Yeah, but what would have you said?
I would have said Jacinda.
Oh, okay. Moving on. So, story of the week: New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern stepping down. Our favorite CEO from New Zealand. Ari, the data queen. You just got off a call being a data queen, I heard.
Yes, I did, but I still have my 3 goodliest of the week for you.
All right. Well, Ari's here to do her goodliest stories
3
of
or
the week.
7?
No,
3.
she got 3. Go ahead,
Oh,
Ari.
okay.
All right, we're going to start with Apple.
Yeah.
CEO Tim Cook are going to cut his pay package after shareholders' pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. You don't hear that every day.
Yeah.
So was this post-vote advisory vote from last year? They negotiated?
Last year, I think about 38, roughly 40% of voters voted against the pay package.
Right.
And I think that was enough for Apple to listen. And again,
Well,
I know there's a lot of people who would be shocked by that, but yeah, they listened. Yeah.
right.
Go ahead,
so
Ari.
supposedly after that vote and all the pressure on Apple, Tim Cook was just like, "Hey, why don't you cut my pay?" So they're going from 80 million, I think, was what he was supposed to get paid, to 40 million. But I don't think he's crying too much about his 40 million.
I don't think he's okay with it.
I mean,
It was a reduction in his long-term equity target. His equity target was reduced. Everything else stayed the same.
Right,
The
his
Musk part of
salary
his
of
package.
millions is still fine. The Musk part of his package, exactly.
The Musk part, yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
this is cool. You don't hear about this every day. So
And
I like it.
I'll say this too: Apple, the only company that is so well managed, the only company in tech and big tech that they're the only ones not laying off people. So Tim Cook probably will
explain to me how that
make
guy,
a lot of money off his share price.
You
yeah.
cut the one guy who's the adult in the most of the
Yeah,
rooms he
the
goes
most
into.
adult
He
guy
cut
ever.
his pay.
Mm-hmm.
I
He
mean, 80
cut his
million's
own pay,
ridiculous, but
technically.
Still.
I don't know if he cut his own pay. I don't know if I know I've seen that, Ari. I don't believe that.
Is that
byline.
his publicist just doing
Yeah.
a real good job?
I don't believe that. I will give them credit though. I think it's Apple actually listening to their shareholders, but I don't think Tim is cutting his own pay.
All
I
right,
don't buy
fine,
that.
Yeah,
fine,
that's
fine.
Yeah.
All right, number 2, Bank of America CEO says capitalism needs cleaning up with new global ESG rules.
Booing. The audience doesn't like that.
I don't know why the audience.
Why are they so
doesn't like
mad
this.
about that?
I mean, it's Bank of America's CEO talking about ESG rules.
Tell us more about this one, Ari.
Yeah, he actually, the CEO, Brian, whatever,
Moynihan.
he supports
Whatever.
He is kind of a whatever.
There being sustainability standards, like one of the biggest blows that ESG gets is that there's no accounting for
Fuzzy science.
there's no standards
Fuzzy math.
for how to account for things, and like whether or not that should be a hurdle into actually counting your carbons or counting your workforce or counting whatever, it doesn't matter, right? It would be really super useful if there was just everybody do this one thing and they just do it. So
Yeah.
I like the CEO.
Matt, you don't believe this, Matt. You think this is greenwashing.
This is the ultimate cop-out. Here's the quote. Here's his quote.
Oh,
Without that
God.
definition, without that convergence, what you had is everybody defined it their own way. Somebody would think this issue is important or this way to talk about it is important. And that was his problem with it. Yeah, it's called doing your job. Have an opinion.
I'm not as against this one as you are, Matt.
I hate it.
Why
I feel
not,
hopeful.
Damien?
Because he seemed to suggest that he was making he was hinting at the efficacy of stakeholder capitalism moving
Yes.
forward. That we do have to pay attention to the world and to stakeholder communities, and that it's not that simple.
Yes.
Nealer in Chief said the same thing in
Okay, it's true.
2016.
But this
Oh,
is where
well,
this is
he's
how
catching up.
revolutions start. This is how I've
Yeah,
bored
with
the audience.
Brian Moynihan.
I
remember
bored
that.
the audience many
Capitalist
times with this
revolution.
thought.
I
Progress
remember
is
the
slow.
French Revolution that
Progress
started
takes
with the guy
a long
who ran the
time.
bank.
You don't just change things overnight. So
I agree with
Yeah.
you, Damien. That's why I picked this story.
thank you.
No, it's the wrong
I
story.
actually
It's
picked
terrible.
it. Yeah, go ahead. What
And
else you got, Ari?
Last but not least, Pfizer offers up entire drug and vaccine portfolio to world's poorest countries at non-profit prices.
That seems good to me.
And
Matt,
that's-
you
I
know
like
more
the
about this
sound
than
of
me, but
this.
doesn't that sound good?
Well, it makes me think, what were they doing before? I wasn't aware
Making a
that
lot
they
of
were
money?
price gauging
Oh, making a
people
ton
who
of
didn't
money.
have any
Yeah.
money.
I'm
Well,
skeptical though. Like, what's in
What
it,
are
what's
non-profit
in
prices?
it for them?
I think at cost prices, right? Just at cost.
Yeah, I just looked. It said at cost.
Anyone have any insight into this one?
Yeah, I don't know. Like the
Uh-oh, here we
cost
go.
part to me isn't the part that like is interested. Fine, you offered at cost. That's whatever. It's the part of the package is to offer like a wide range of like antibacterial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't antibacterial resistance like
Oh, God.
the
growing?
burgeoning
Don't bring
topic
that in
of
right now.
it could be the
Superbugs?
biggest problem, like
Yeah.
superbugs.
Ugh.
We've effectively
This is a
given the
conspiracy
rest of the
theory right
world
now.
the ability to strengthen their superbugs. I don't know. Some of it is good. I'm not saying it's bad because it's good. That I don't know why it wasn't offered to them, but it also seems like there's an unintended consequence here that I don't quite fully appreciate.
The way the world seems to be addicted to these stupid Marvel movies, don't they want superbugs? Isn't that exciting for them?
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know. Maybe it's
I
a
think that
long-term
answer is
scheme.
correct.
They want superbugs so they can defeat it with their new meds.
Before we vote on this, Matt, I want to sadly say this story that Ari did not pick, and that was this headline. I quit the NFL to trade Pokemon cards.
Oh, I'm voting for that.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't pick that one, but that seemed really good to me. I can't think of a better reason to quit the NFL than to trade Pokemon cards. I love that.
Much safer.
Sorry.
Do I have to vote for Ari's or can I vote for that
Less
one?
concussions.
I like
Sorry,
a billion
Ari.
people having
Sorry.
access to medicine more than Pokemon.
Well, you don't get to vote, Ari, so who wants to start up the voting?
I'm gonna vote for Pfizer. That seems great to me.
It does seem great, right? I'm trying to figure out, wrap my head around why this could suck.
Well, I'm definitely not voting for Brian Moynihan, even if he did go to my alma mater.
Look at you name dropping
Yeah, okay.
West Michigan State.
Do you like that? It's hard for me not to vote for Pfizer.
But
But
Pokemon.
I'm tempted to vote for Tim Cook saying yeah, just pay me a little less. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm going to vote for Pfizer. It's Pfizer.
yeah, it's Pfizer. It just seems good. Goalies of the week, Pfizer doing a thing.
That's all it took. That's all.
I like how we're speeding along. This is amazing.
I mean, look,
We're all afraid of Matt's children is the really issue.
Ari and I were on like several 6-hour phone calls today. So it's been a long day. Assholiest of the week. It's my turn. It's my turn. In fact, they're stop transitioning me in.
Can't help myself.
There are 3 assholes to choose from this week. First up is Wyoming Republicans take a stand, want to ban electric cars.
And this is true? This isn't like oniony nonsense?
This is a real story. They have suggested that electric vehicles discriminate against their state. That's what they've decided.
Can't.
I'm not joking. This is a real thing that they've decided. I want to say somebody asked me the other day like why like they were really pissed that corporate America is not listening to conservatives. Like they're discriminating against conservatives. Maybe because corporate America realized that you used to be the party that gave corporate America whatever it wanted.
Corporate America, yeah.
And now you're the party that bans everything it does.
You hate all of our... Yeah, you hate
everything.
You hate free markets, competition, all the fun.
You hate everything. There's nothing anyone can do that you don't hate. So F you, Wyoming, for whatever it is that you decide to do. Like as if like telling people, you can't have the car you want because it discriminates against some fiction that we're making up. Is fantastic.
And is that the only thing that's the only thing you're capable of, Wyoming? Like, I hope it's not the same for my state. Like when the lobster population goes away because of ocean warming, I hope we don't just give up as a state and be like, we can't think of anything else to do.
Well, I do.
Like we're done forever.
They did say one of the reasons why electric cars don't work in Wyoming, like these are like the footnotes to their main argument about discrimination, where everyone lives so far apart that you can't get to different places in an electric car.
What? That can't be real.
So they don't want to invest in infrastructure.
Yeah, right. That can't be a real
thing.
They
just
and that was the other thing, Jesse, which was they don't have a lot of charging stations.
Sure,
okay,
yeah.
right, and they don't. Right, you can't just go
ban them.
There's not
Get
enough
rid of them.
land to put these charging stations
Way
on.
too
God
dense.
forbid.
That's just sad, Wyoming. That's just sad.
Option number 2: U.S. companies spent over $1 trillion buying back their own shares last year as they shrugged off fears of a recession-fueled crash.
I don't like that.
I will say, the time to do buybacks is when your price is depressed. So there is a logic to this.
A logic, sure.
However,
but
this is the same year, 1 nanosecond before you said we have to fire everybody who works for us. What the fuck are you doing?
We have to hike up our prices.
Is there a reason why, as a company, you can't just keep some of the money in case something bad happens so that you can continue to pay your employees? Why is it always the case that after something bad happens, the headline comes out that they bought back a tremendous amount of shares?
I mean, not to make this like a real conversation.
Yeah, how dare you?
But is part of the problem here that the like named executive officers, CEOs, so much of their pay is tied to equity? Is that part of the problem?
There is evidence. There is evidence that is the case, but it's not them largely making that decision. The board has to share buybacks.
I like your fantasy that the board is separate from management.
I'm just saying the board has to the share buybacks, and investors demand it and like it and want it. They do not vote against boards who give them share buybacks. There is a large complicit cycle.
You mean the boards that in America have like 99.9% of them have the CEO of the company sitting in the boardroom staring at them?
Those boards.
Writing recommendations to
the investors
their kids'
don't have
colleges.
The investors don't have someone in the boardroom, and the investors don't penalize companies for share buybacks. They enjoy share buybacks. So I'm just saying,
I hear
there's
you.
a large complicit cycle. And then last, and this one, if you don't all vote for this, you're all jerks. OpenAI underpaid 200 Kenyans to perfect ChatGPT, then sacked them.
Oh.
That
doesn't feel surprising.
That is the biggest thing that Microsoft just spent $10 billion to get.
Billion, yeah.
was built off of the back of 200 brown people in a country no one cares about, and then they got fired after they perfected it.
Why couldn't ChatGPT perfect itself? Why do they need the Kenyans?
Because it's not AI so much as programmed like off of Kenyans. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
read
of
that,
course, it's a
like they
San
paid him like
Francisco
$1 an hour or something like that.
Silicon Valley based company spending $1.32 an hour for their content moderators as contractors that they immediately fire once it's good enough, and then they could sell it to Microsoft for $10 billion.
Is there any chance that this story, by being out there, could help these people get paid now? Like get some kind of a severance package or something?
Well,
you want to start GoFundMe?
GoFundMe.
I mean, they're going to have to get lawyers.
I would say for like the tech bros that are really deep into like Musk and Andreessen and like that like circle, everybody who like thinks that they're geniuses and idolize them. Yeah, they're not geniuses. What they do is the same thing everyone has ever done for the history of humanity, which was use cheapest labor possible to achieve something to make you the most money. That's not genius. That's called the human condition, and it's a form of slavery. I'm just going to put that out there into the world. Those are your three options. Wyoming Republicans banning electric
This is
vehicles.
a tough one. I kind of hate all these people.
$1 trillion in buybacks prior to recession fears, and OpenAI using Kenyans for $1.32 an hour to get $10 billion.
I don't know what's going on in Wyoming. What?
Matt just told you.
Maybe they don't have car dealerships.
There's just not a lot of them.
Oh, they have car dealerships.
There's just not enough of them.
All right, you want to vote?
EVs. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with OpenAI on pay 200. That's just insane. That's just crazy.
I'm torn. I'm going to, you know what?
How hard is it to just give them $1,000? Like, are you kidding? $10 billion for Microsoft? No.
I'm going to let.
This is a bad look. They clearly don't have a publicist.
Not like Apple.
The Chat GPT itself is its own publicist. Can't they just ask that?
Well, it should have told them.
I'm gonna make Jesse break the tie because I'm gonna not vote for this because only for this reason is that I think all of these corporations that have multinational footprints do this. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean I've witnessed it firsthand.
Just because everybody does it doesn't mean it's not still an asshole thing to do.
No, but I'm really I'm.
It's called Asshole of the Week. So this week it's them. Next week might be somebody else.
Well, technically they did this like a while ago. I'm really fixated on these idiotic Wyoming Republicans. This to me is like I honestly like my jaw dropped when I saw this. Like their anger at everything except for what they know is really startling to me. And I rechecked this article like 4 different ways to make sure that it wasn't fake because it just did not seem real to me. It's preposterous. So I don't know. It enraged me the most. So I'm voting for Wyoming Republicans trying to ban.
Should we go check on them? Are those people okay? They must not be.
I don't think they're okay. Jesse, you want to break the tie?
Yeah, I'm doing OpenAI. I hate labor and justice.
Okay.
That is the correct answer.
She loves Wyoming. Don't lie.
She does love
Jesse.
Wyoming. Wyoming, just for context sake, Damien, Wyoming in 2022 bought 228 electric vehicles, the second lowest total of any state in the United States.
The people in the
per capita, what is like?
Yeah,
there are only 329 people living there. Actually,
everybody has an EV.
Everybody's got an EV,
but no chargers.
Jesse, the money whisperer.
Okay, I'm gonna try to
exhaust us. She got the most exhaustingest of the week.
Cruise through these.
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes. Go for it.
I know. All right, first headline: greenwashing, make space for diversity washing, the newest 2023 trend. It's so sad. We know this is happening, right? But there is a study out of Stanford University and 3 other universities, but they're too small to name apparently.
Oh.
Study of U.S. public companies.
Probably Matt's college, probably.
U.S. public companies from 2018 to 2021 confirms that corporate leaders who talk the most about diversity benefit from greater investment in their companies by socially conscious funds, even if hiring and promotion efforts are lackluster.
Matt, maybe you can help me out here. these funds, all these funds. You just talk to a fund. How come they don't do their due diligence? How come they don't look into things? What are they doing?
Look, this is where I'm going to agree painfully with Vivek. Nobody does any work.
We do work.
It wouldn't be that hard for a fund that was socially conscious to go beyond what the CEO said in an interview or one policy that they came out with.
This is crazy.
And ask a follow-up question, which would be link your pay to it or do something. What are you really
doing?
Show us
what are you really doing?
Show us
nuts.
performance.
Nuts.
Can you disclose more? And they don't, mostly. Mostly they don't. So,
so disappointing.
Well, this is exhausting us to the week. So I'm ready for it now.
Yeah. So, and according to separate research out of Harvard, diversity washing may not only steer investors wrong, but also could be allowing some CEOs to boost compensation unfairly, of course, because their pay packages are linked. So just to put a cherry on the top of that exhausting story.
Pile of mess, yeah.
Can we quickly rebrand? I don't like diversity washing. Can we rebrand that quickly?
To what?
We called it something once. We called
didn't
it
we
the
call
brown
it?
ceiling.
That
was
I don't
when
like the sound of that. Yeah.
people didn't people of color couldn't break into management, and we called it. I think you called it like
lady
eye
washing.
You called it like eye washing or something because
Diversity washing.
I don't know. Well,
I don't
anyway,
get
continue.
eye washing.
I'll have a think.
All right. Okay.
Number two, Jesse.
Second story. We're circling back to Greg Peters.
Yes, new co-CEO of Netflix.
Yes. So while
So much
layoffs are
excitement.
rampant within tech companies, Netflix new CEO Greg Peters will make out big time this year. He is going to rake in an annual salary of $3 million. Added to that, he gets
Same as Tim Cook.
There you
Already.
go.
There you go.
Added to that annual stock option of $17 million, and he's on track to receive estimated bonus of $14 million. So
It's weird. It's exactly what Matt Moscardi's making here at Free Flow. Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
my take home this year.
weird. So he's gonna make 34 million in a time where major tech companies are carrying out mass layoffs. So I did a little calculation just to make this fun.
populist math time.
I did populist math.
Whoa.
Netflix, it's been reported that Netflix has cut 450 jobs. The average salary of a Netflix employee is
I like it.
$124K. Don't hold me to that. That was a quick Google search. His bonus, Peter's bonus alone, $14 million, if reallocated, could have saved 25% of the jobs that were cut.
Oh, I know. But those are people. We're talking about Greg
Those
Peters.
are people.
Yeah.
So if they cared, this is what exhausts me. Like, your priorities are just so misaligned. I hate it. This exhausts me.
All right. Well, welcome to the industry, Jesse.
I know,
Good to have you aboard.
Jesse's new here.
I know. I'm just,
Maybe they weren't high performers.
Thank you. They weren't
they're
excellent.
still people.
They weren't
still
excellent.
people.
Jesse's not pro excellence.
All right. Okay. My last story. Matthew
Last story.
Price, your privilege is showing.
Whoa. I don't know who Matthew Price is. Yeah, I like this.
Cloudflare CEO
Okay.
Matthew Prince. My God,
Prince.
sorry.
Yeah.
Cloudflare CEO Matthew Prince says he is kind of excited about an upcoming recession for these 4 reasons.
Yeah, I like this.
A potential startup boom. It
Okay.
might be a good time to invest. Companies may become more efficient, and some
Right.
of the strongest talent is hired in recessions.
Okay.
We already know that recessions and layoffs disrupt diversity and equity efforts. I just think this is such a narrow-minded thing to say, and I would never want to be publicized or quoted saying it. Not that I'd ever
Jesse,
think it.
will you give him credit for saying it out loud, though? Can you give him some credit?
No,
Being so
And-
unaware.
And to
that
have
he would
4.
say it.
He had 4 reasons to be excited about the
4
recession.
whole reasons, all of which are just
Forget your heating bills. 4 reasons.
I know. So
Hey.
I just
I'm
think
excited.
that
This is the first time I'll be
mind-blowing.
a full-blown adult in a recession.
You're a full-blown adult? Is there proof of that?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
So I had some studies behind this, but to save time, I mean, I think we can all see the absurdity in going
it's
public and
ridiculous.
saying this.
What a
and not thinking
ridiculous thing
about
to say.
who it actually impacts.
Also
Right.
needs
All
a
right.
publicist.
I like
gonna
his name,
go.
though. I like CEO Matthew Prince, though. It's a great CEO name.
He's a good CEO name. I'm gonna go because diversity washing is I know it's exhaustingest of the week for Jessie because she learned it this week.
Oh, don't say that.
I did.
But
I did.
but
I never heard
it
the
is
term before.
it is literally like the thing that's been happening for as long as I've been in ESG. So I can't do that one. Greg Peters making some money, that was bound to happen. Here's what I want to tell Matthew Prince though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah,
Matthew Prince.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Study was done in 2020 that showed that in a recession, the mortality rate globally increases by 0.5 deaths per 1,000 people, 4.5% above the mean.
Ooh.
It increases 4.5%. More people die because they have less money. I'm glad you're really excited about the startup boom. Or wait, companies will be more efficient. They'll be efficient on the backs of dead people. That's what happens. People die. You're excited. Don't be excited about a recession, you idiot.
I'm still
forget.
still
Don't
impressed that
say
he
it.
admitted it. Yeah.
I forget. Don't say it. Don't be excited about it because it's not that exciting.
No. Okay. To be fair to Matthew Prince, CEO of Cloudflare, he said kind of excited. That's not fully there. You're not fully there.
I take it back.
Yeah.
It's a whole article about his excitement.
Then
And
I'm kind of exhausted by your kind of excitement. How about that?
It's hard not to vote for this one, Jess. I agree with that. It's kind of because the other two were a bit more used to being jaded ESG people, but this is refreshing. I love this.
This is
I'm
refreshing.
So
I just love the candor. I just think it's amazing. Like he's reveling in this.
He's trying to be the optimist in the silver lining.
Yeah,
He's just
congratulations.
showing all his bad cards.
Yeah, I didn't even say that number is a global number. When you do populations of color, particularly in the U.S. or places where income inequality is very, very high, those numbers are exponentially larger. So, why don't you get kind of excited about a bunch of dead brown people? Why don't you just say it like that? And then it's not so exciting.
I was going to get into the race conversation, and I initially had your white privileges showing, but we didn't have time to get into it.
We don't have time
to talk about it. All right. Ari, you want to weigh in here? Your vote doesn't matter, but go ahead.
Well, I'm going to go with that one too. And I also find it exhausting that he can't commit to whether he's excited about it or not.
Halfway. I guess that's the human. That's the human part of him. He knows that you can't say he's fully excited. So that's the soft touch of Matthew Prince, right?
Whatever, dude. Pick a lane.
Yeah. And congratulations to Matthew Prince, Cloudflare CEO, because you're now on our radar. So that means we're going to make fun of you a lot going down the road. This is fun for us. It's good for us. That's it. That's the show.
Wow.
Before we get out of here, anyone have any winners or predictions?
Yeah, I'm going to say that Apple won the week.
Look at Ari.
Wow.
Shot out of a cannon. I like this. Why
false.
Apple?
They
They
did
win
not.
every week. Why them?
They're just all the press about Tim Cook cutting his own pay. It's just everywhere. It's really getting to people. So they won.
No, they did not. People who won the week are people who make real commercials.
Oh,
Which apparently is not a thing.
not
And
every.
now we're finding out it's not. And we're going to find
the
out.
food industry would tell you that they've been faking it for a long time.
Well, that's the thing. Damien and I spent months talking about that Burger King commercial where the burger turned to mold, and that they were very proud of it because that showed that it was real. Because before it wasn't real. I actually think that we're now going to go through. We're going to celebrate that was that car commercial. That car just drove and it drove the way it looked. That's going to be something that we like. That's my prediction.
Can I say my winner of the week is Vivek Ramaswamy because he got to meet us. He got to be on our show.
That's true. That's true. Meeting us is a victory.
It feels like a win for him.
Does it really though?
Yeah,
I think probably not. Jessie never has a Who Won the Week. Do you have one this week?
I think it's the nature of my segment. It's really hard to figure out.
Oh my God,
who
I
won.
love that. Self-promotion, I like it.
I like that. My segment is so exhausting that no one can possibly win.
Predictions?
I have one.
Yeah.
Musk loses this trial.
Which trial?
Oh, he's on for the 420 one though. He's going to take his he's going to lose that one.
Funding secured.
Funding secured. Loses
Which was
that
a lie.
trial.
It's all lies.
That's what
It's
I
all
think.
Lies. My prediction quickly, the next Prime Minister, CEO of New Zealand is another woman. Back to back women.
Do you know who?
Keep it rolling, New Zealand. Keep it going. And I know who it is. It's going to be Melody Hobson of
That's
Starbucks.
perfect. Of course it is.
Is that possible? Is that legal?
I think it is. I don't think you have to be there or New Zealand.
You just have to be caffeinated. You have to be highly caffeinated.
Anyway, you have to say it like you're from Massachusetts, too. Gotta be caffeinated. That was it. That's Damian Rollis and Jesse, the Money Whisperer, and Ari, the Data Queen. I am Matt, the Lord of BS. We are Free Float. Come back next week. We're a Vivek Ramaswamy-less week next week.
Maybe. He might want to come back next week.
But you should still come back because it's still worth listening to. Until then, goodbye.